Okay. Hey guys, we should be live. I'm Kira from Kira Nicole Photography, and this is Miranda.
Hello.
She got married this August at Springfield Manor, which is a really pretty venue. So if you want a vineyard venue, I suggest you look it up because it's very pretty. Look, yay, Cam's on. Yeah, and so we're just gonna talk about some planning stuff and hopefully you guys will find it helpful because she just recently went through the process, so she's very familiar with it, more familiar than me. So yeah, so we'll start with two things that you are so glad you did during planning.
All right.
Really helped you out.
Two of the things that I actually had accounts with both the Knot and Wedding Wire, and I kind of found both of them helpful, but mainly for Wedding Wire, I had a RSVP guest list. So every single RSVP that I got back, I either marked that they were coming or not coming. And then once I got all the RSVPs back and it was time to make the seating chart, then all of the whole list went over to one side, and then you could actually make like your own layout of the ballroom.
Oh, so you could like click and drag.
Yeah,
like,
and then it actually drags like the actual
That's
name
really cool.
over, and you can make your layout, because at my venue I had like certain amount of like circle tables, I had like long rectangular tables, so it was so nice because you knew that you weren't leaving anybody out, and you know, you had seating for everybody, and it was so nice because you could then print it out, you could take it with you,
give it right to the coordinator.
Exactly.
And that's believe it or not, the seating chart is like one of the most like stressful things.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, these people get along, these people don't, and I want to make sure that everyone's happy where they sit. So it's nice that you can kind of like click and drag it around and change it instead of like having it and then having to do it over or scratch it out or whatever.
Right, so, yeah, so it's really so nice that you can click and drag. If you change your mind, you switch out a table, then
still have, okay.
Then yeah,
we're good. He can hear us. He was just saying we have some time. Oh, I guess because technically we said 8 on Instagram, but then we said 8:15 on Facebook. So maybe we should, I don't know, 8:10. I'm trying to decide if we should wait a little bit. Let's see. Well, we have some people on. So let me see. How come it doesn't tell me who? Oh well, we'll keep rolling and people can join in, and we'll just do like a quick recap at the end. That way, people miss anything. Okay, cool. So that was on the Knot or Wedding Wire, the seating chart?
That was on Wedding Wire.
Wedding Wire, okay.
And then on the Knot, I really liked the vendor list.
Okay.
So I just thought it was a little bit more, trying to think of the right word. It was more easy,
like user friendly.
Yes, user friendly to use. So
easier to kind of like navigate. And
yeah. So
I mean, does the Knot do it do they do like by budget? Can you like filter?
I think you can filter your budget.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's super helpful because there's tons of great vendors, but they range from all different prices. So if you can kind of narrow it down, that can definitely help like narrow down your choices.
Definitely. Yeah.
So cool. And then so I'm trying to think. Yes. But anything else you found helpful that you did during planning that really like paid off on wedding day?
I mean, like I said, basically with the Knot and basically the whole vendor thing, going back again, after I found the venue, which I actually got off of the Knot, then I just pretty much put in all the information. I put in the zip code of where I was getting married, and it brought in everything, because with being from Harford County and then getting married out in Frederick, like it was not it was not good for my budget for paying people from Harford County traveling. I would much rather have had somebody out there.
Yeah, and that's good to think of too when you're looking at your vendors, like checking to see if they charge travel fees, because if you don't live close to where you're getting married, then you'll need to find people that are essential to that area if you don't want to pay a lot. And so a lot of vendors do up to 60 miles, which is nice, but not always. So that's good to check with vendors to see if there's going to be any extra travel fees.
Yeah, definitely.
Save you a little bit there. Cool. Is there anything you wish you would have done differently?
So, like everybody says about a videographer, definitely I told myself it's okay. I don't think I'm ever going to watch the video. And now it's like I find myself on, a couple nights a week, like going through like wedding pictures and reminiscing on the night. And I'm just kind of like, if I had like a video I could actually watch and like recap, it would be,
Yep. I agree.
I'm not sure what I was thinking when everybody told me, but
it's hard though because there's so many things. Weddings are so expensive. There's so many things you have to pay for, so you have to prioritize. But yeah, I'm obviously a wedding photographer, but my wedding video is my favorite thing for my wedding day. I love watching back the memories. The still frames are beautiful, but being able to watch it,
actually watch it, right,
is just so fun to be able to do that. But yeah, so that's good. So brides, listen, we're not just saying it because we want to like help our friends or like, I don't know, we don't get like cuts when you guys book these videographers. Like we really mean like have them. And also too, you can talk to your photographer about people that they've worked with before if you're afraid about, like I know a lot of people think videographers are going to be like super intrusive or like in the way kind of thing. But you can ask any of your vendors if they've worked with them before, and that way you know like what you're getting yourself into. And it's not necessary to have 2 videographers. I know like sometimes people offer that, but really you just need one because a lot of times like one of the videographers I work, he sets up like 3 different cameras. So even though he's only one person, he still gets like 3 different angles. And so that way you're having less bodies, but still getting all these different perspectives, which is really cool. Yep. So yeah. Okay, what was your favorite part of your wedding day?
My favorite part definitely had to be our first look.
Okay.
Everything was like so hectic in the beginning, and then just like my husband Zach, he's not a very emotional person, so with his back being turned and I came up behind him and he turned around, he had like, I'll never forget, he had the biggest smile and he got all emotional. And it's just like a side that like I personally never get to see.
Yeah. That's awesome. And if you wouldn't have done it, he might have been too like overwhelmed by, because you had a pretty big wedding.
Right.
Like how many?
I think we had about 160, 170 people.
So that's a lot of people like staring at you, expecting you to have a reaction. Like everyone's always, that's like such a thing. Like everyone wants to look at the groom and see his reaction. That's like a lot of pressure. So first looks are nice because the bride gets that moment just for herself, and he can actually have the reaction that he would normally have without all the pressure of everyone staring at him and expecting him to do something really sweet. Yeah. And especially for guys who don't openly show their emotions, they're more likely to get emotional if they have that private moment rather than being in front of, hundreds of people.
Yes. And
all of that. So yeah, first looks, that's okay. That's good to know that was your favorite part of your wedding day, because we definitely try and encourage people to do them. So.
And I also want to add that we ended up doing the whole first look, but then we did a majority of our pictures beforehand. And I also thought that was like probably still one of the best ideas that we would have done, just because I've heard so many stories of these brides. You plan a wedding for 1 year, 2 years, however much, and then it comes to the time and it's like, it already goes by so fast, but it's like, you're in your reception and then it's like pictures and then it's cake time and then this, and the next thing you know, it's over, So with us having the first look and we got a majority of our pictures, don't get me wrong, we still had like just a few pictures, but
definitely.
Other than that, we got to have our whole, reception, and we could celebrate with our closest friends and family that traveled from all over, to be there
not
with
have
us.
To take. Yeah. It's nice to get a lot of that done beforehand, before your guests even get there, because then the time that they are there, it's so short, but you get to spend the majority of that time with them. And it's nice too, because you can get to your cocktail hour. So, because usually if you do the first look, you can do most of the pictures beforehand and just do like maybe 15 or 20 minutes during cocktail hour. And then you have the rest of that cocktail hour to go mingle with guests, so that at your reception, you don't have to worry about getting to every single table, which sometimes is like, you probably have 25 tables, or it's like a lot. So if you're kind of mingling throughout cocktail hour, that at least reduces the amount of people that you have to go then say hi to during your reception, which then just gives you more time to just hang out and eat and dance and have a good time. So you guys had a good DJ. Do you remember who? Oh, Shoesicle.
Shoesicle, right? Yes.
That was good. You guys had a fun
Yeah.
reception.
That's the
That's
thing.
awesome.
We told them, I was like, I want everybody to be up on the dance floor.
And they were.
Yeah.
That was pretty entertaining. Even what the guy I was backing it up on your grandma.
yes.
That was pretty awesome. Hey, we like hopping receptions. It gives us stuff to take pictures of when we're there. So that's awesome. Cool. Oh, so is there anything that you got either as a gift or like something that you bought before your wedding day that you were like super thankful you had on your wedding day? Like any like gifts that you got that like stuck out to you?
So actually, I did not know this until after, because I had a cousin that got married up in New York,
Okay.
and it was something from my great grandmother. It was like a handkerchief or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
And they incorporated that. And I told my mom, I was like, how come I didn't know that? And she said that she had actually took my bouquet and it was wrapped around.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't.
You knew?
I think she forgot to tell me, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
That's coolness. Something like sentimental from your family that you can include
yeah.
in your pictures and stuff. That's cool. And it's cool too to have something that like either like a piece of your mom's dress or something from your mom or your grandmother's wedding day that you can incorporate into your wedding day. Because when you look back at that picture, you'll always think of them, which can be really special.
Yeah.
And did you do like you bought a robe beforehand?
I
What
did.
are some things you got like beforehand that you like used on your wedding day? Robe. Did you get your girls robes?
I did.
Okay.
Yep, I got them all robes. Trying to think if I got them. I
And
know
did
I
you
got
have a
them.
hanger?
Yes.
Hanger. So I'm just giving you guys ideas for engaged gals out there if you're really looking to get them something that they can then use on their wedding day, which is super helpful. So a robe, a hanger. What about a ring dish? Didn't you have a special?
I did.
Yeah,
Yep.
She had a cute little ring dish, which made her detail shots even better, a little bit different than what we usually do. Wait, sister? No, Lexi.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Oh, cousin. Okay, I was like, wait a second. No, that's not Macy. Okay. Yeah, so ring dish, robe, hanger. Trying to think other things.
But definitely make sure that you order all that stuff like way ahead of time, because I was banking on either Amazon Prime to have everything to be there, just in time, or, especially with Etsy. Etsy, it takes a while,
Yeah.
for that stuff to ship. So
That is a good point, because I think it was last season, I had a bride that we didn't think it was going to rain on her wedding day, and then we looked at the forecast 2 days before and it looked like it was, and we were trying to find those clear umbrellas because they make for really good pictures, and a lot of times the stores only have like 3 or 4, but if you have a big bridal party you need like 16. You need like a lot of those umbrellas. So we tried to Amazon them. They didn't show up in time. Fortunately, the rain held off. It just like sprinkled. But when I came home from the wedding, they were all sitting at my front door, of course, 16 clear umbrellas. But the point being, just try and think ahead as much as you can and order that stuff so that you account for shipping time so that it can get there and you can actually have it for your wedding day, which is obviously the point. So,
yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you are like, man, I wish I would tell a bride? Your day ended up pretty picture perfect, and it was a well-run day, which is good, which means she did her work on the planning end, people, because you have to plan for these things. They're big days.
I would say definitely don't be afraid to ask for help. Right when I got engaged, everybody was asking me, "Oh, are you gonna have, a wedding planner?" And I was like, "Nah, I can, I can do all that myself. I'm not worried about it." And then Zach and we ended up buying a house. We settled a month before we got married. So, trying to pick out furniture and paint colors and, doing everything like that. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing my sister and my mom, and everybody there were to help out, because I'm definitely not the person, to ask for help. So
yeah,
it definitely helped out a lot.
Yeah, delegate tasks for sure. Yeah. And it's okay if you're still like type A and have like tons of opinions about things. Just tell them give them very specific tasks. Like, this is the cake I want. Can you call the baker and have them order it? Or, this is what I want my floral arrangement to look like. Can you send this picture to the florist and get a quote? Like, so you can still be specific with, your request that you still make sure that you're getting everything that you want, but you're not actually doing all the legwork, which will just save you stress because I think I was like looking at the checklist on the wedding wire and it was like there's like 85 things that have to be done before your wedding day comes. So
yeah.
It's a lot of
And
work.
I got engaged exactly 2 years from, today.
Oh, wow. So you had a lot of, okay. So you had, well, so then how many, did you have just a year to plan?
It was like a year, like about a year and a half.
Okay. Was that
Yeah.
like a good amount of time or do you think you would have gotten less or more?
It was a good amount of time.
Good amount. Yeah.
I don't know how people get married in like 6 months because
Yeah.
there's no way I would have been able to do that.
Yeah. Then you definitely need help. If you're getting married in 6 months, then definitely get some help.
Yeah.
And hopefully you know some people in the industry. But yeah, it's like a year and a half. Because I was like a year and I was like ready by the time the wedding came. I was like,
Right.
I'm tired of planning this thing. Like, let's get started.
Exactly. Yeah.
So cool. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all we have. Unless we signed on a little bit early, I guess. Sorry. So some of you that are just joining, if you guys have any questions, let us know before we hop off. It could be anything wedding related, photography related, anything. If you guys have anything, let us know. I'll give it a minute just in case. And thanks, Miranda, for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Her wedding was very pretty. It's on my blog, Miranda and Zach, Springfield Manor. I'm sure you've seen it. It was really pretty. What were your colors again? They were navy.
We had the guys wore navy blue suits.
Okay, yeah.
And then the girls had slate gray and like a blush pink.
That's what it was. Okay. And navy suits are so in. So she's so mean. That's one of my photographer friends. How was it working with Kira? It was horrible.
Kira's amazing.
You had a horrible experience, Amanda. Okay. And Kelsey was with us too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Kelsey was.
Yeah.
Kelsey's like shot that with us, which was fun. But they were all easy to work with. And we got to work with JKW Beauty,
Yeah.
which that was my first time working with them. They were. How did you find them?
On I think the Knot.
Okay.
Yes.
So one of the.
Yeah, they were voted like the #1
Oh
people
wow.
for out there, and they were close. They were within like 5 miles.
I think they're based out of Frederick.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Cool. Yeah, they were really great. And who was your florist?
Pixie. I'm not sure. So I actually found a florist and told her what I wanted, and never saw my flowers until the day of the wedding.
Oh, dang.
I really
Well, good
risked
thing it worked out because they were pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. No, it was okay. They were like a planning team, but then they also did floral design.
Yes.
Was it Fiddlesticks?
Yes.
Fiddlesticks. Okay.
Fiddlesticks.
I always send my vendors the pictures so like the names pop into my head after Fiddlesticks. Okay, and they were and you had like big cascading like centerpieces.
Yes.
Which was really cool. That really adds to a reception space when you have the flowers go up and out. It really fills the room, especially if you have like Springfield has it's a nice clean space. It's white reception, so if you need to kind of fill it with color, that's a good idea is to make them cascading so they go up and then the arrangements are at the top. Just a little tip. JK Beauty is the best. Yes, they are. I'm trying to think who else you used. Well, who was your cake?
We did flavored cupcake.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're good.
All
We've had
cupcakes.
a lot of them before. They were really yummy. Kelsey and I probably had like 2 each, maybe 3. You never know.
I don't even think I had one.
Really? Yeah, because it goes so fast,
It
right?
really goes so fast.
Telling you, ladies, it does go fast. So do that first look so you have time to enjoy your wedding day.
And make sure you eat the day of your wedding.
Mm. Did you have
Because-
lunch? Well, because you had was it a 4 o'clock ceremony?
We had, I think our first look was at 4,
Okay.
and then our ceremony was at 6.
Okay.
But the day of the wedding, I woke up and, I think all the nerves kind of hit, and I was like, no, I'm not going to eat. And they like forced me. And they're like, you're going to eat.
You don't need to pass out during
Right.
the ceremony, so
So-
eat something.
I am so glad that I did because come, time at the reception, you pay for a dinner plate to sit this food down, but then it's like everybody's coming up to you,
Mhm.
you're standing up, you're hugging people, you're talking, and the next thing you know, it's like, all right, on to the next one.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I always feel bad eating your cake if not all the guests have. It's you lose. That is true. If they want one, they'll get one. The DJ announces it.
That's
so in all fairness, they know it's there. So it's open. I'm with you, Amanda. I was gonna say something. And 2, about the eating thing. I can't remember where I read this, but it was super helpful. Like, don't change your diet or eat anything like weird the days leading up to your wedding, because you don't want to end up with like food poisoning or something that's like throwing you off, and then you're sick your whole wedding day. So just
it's no good.
yeah, the couple days before your wedding day, just like stick to what you normally eat. Don't go crazy. And eat too. Like, I remember I was like so worried about fitting into my dress. I barely ate like the 3 weeks leading up to my wedding, and then my dress was loose because I had lost weight, and I was like, well, this is awesome. So just keep eating like normal, like, you know, like whatever you normally eat, same amounts, same foods, and then your dress will fit and you won't feel sick on your wedding day, which is the goal. So yeah. Okay, cool. I don't think we have any other questions. Trying to see. Thanks, Amanda, for sending me all those messages. All right. Well, yeah, so we, just in the beginning, if you just missed a little bit, Miranda was just saying how helpful the Knot was with using their seating guide chart. She could keep track of all of her...
No, Wedding Wire.
Oh, Wedding Wire, sorry.
Wedding Wire.
Wedding Wire. She could keep track of all of her RSVPs and then actually click and drag people onto her seating chart, which that is like a big stressor. So that would be super helpful to have that. And you can click and drag and move people around, even depending on the shape of your tables at your reception. And then the Knot was helpful for
the
finding
vendors. Yes.
Yeah, and you can filter it by budget. And then we were saying how also location too, so that you don't have to pay a crazy amount of travel fees for your vendors, which can just save you a little bit. And I think also, I don't know if it was you or another bride who said, don't forget to save money for like stamps and all of that. Like, I can't remember if it was you or Paige. Someone was saying like, yeah, you have to pay, like if you have 200 guests, like that's 200, well, maybe a little bit less because multiple people live in the same house, but that's a lot of envelopes you're sending. It's a lot of stamps, and you have to send them a return card, and that needs a stamp. So it's 2 stamps per party that you're invited to your wedding. So keep that in mind when you're doing your budget. Leave some aside.
For thank yous afterwards.
Oh yeah, there you go. I didn't even think about that. Stamps. That's 3 stamps per party that you invite. So think about who you're inviting to your wedding, because you pay for the dinner and for their stamps and for those invitations too, which can cost money depending on how, you know, if you do a custom or whatever. But it's, you know, still money, and taxes.
Definitely.
Taxes. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of vendors, if they are a legitimate company, they're registered with the state, they have to charge 6% sales tax. We have to do it even as photographers, which is frustrating. But yeah, so that could be $200 to $300 per vendor. So that could easily be another $1,000 just in taxes. All this fun stuff, but you don't realize the average wedding costs $31,000 in Baltimore, people. So yeah.
Expensive.
Yeah, and then we talked about first looks, just how Miranda was saying that was the favorite part of her wedding day. This was because her husband is a little bit shyer. He just doesn't express his emotion as openly, which is normal, people. Like, there's not that many guys that are just going to like openly bawl when you walk down the aisle. Sorry to break it to you. But having that first look helped her see his natural reaction, because he wasn't standing in front of all these people and they weren't all watching him. And that was a special moment that they had. So still a shout out for first looks.
Yes.
And yeah, that's kind of all we hit in the beginning. So cool. So this will be up on our page afterwards if you want to share it with anyone or watch anything back. Oh, and the giveaway too. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I think I want to do a hanger. So I think I'm going to do a hanger for the giveaway. So it'll just be a wood hanger and it'll say bride. And that way when your photographer is taking all of your dress shots, you'll have a pretty hanger that your dress can hang on. So we'll announce more about that in our newsletter on Thursday, and I'll post about it here and on Instagram to let you know how to win a hanger, which is, hey, $20 gift that you can use on your wedding day. So
very nice.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.